this video, I'm going to be creating a scrapbook layout, and I did this while I was in a virtual crop with my friends. So I'm going to start off by looking through this metallic paper that I got from Cricut.com, and I'm going to use a Starburst border punch from Creative Memories and create a border. And I just love the way that this turned out. I thought it was so pretty, and I just love that punch. It's a new punch for me. And I just recently got it, so I decided that I would give it a try. And I'm just going to make a border strip here that I'm going to use on my layout. Now I did start out this layout intending to use those thickers that are striped, and they're like a glitter thicker, and that paper that I have right there. And I ended up not using either one of those things. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this paper, and I wanted to use the floral side and also the reverse side. And so I grabbed a piece of my ugly paper, and I'm going to try to piece together this background. Now, when I'm doing this, I thought that looked awesome, but the problem was that it didn't really go with the matte or the picture. In the picture, I had such a more brighter color of blue, and so I'm thinking, well, maybe I should try to change my paper and see if I could make this picture with the matte go a little bit better. And the funny thing was, is I actually did start off with the picture already matted. It was just something that I had done probably a couple weeks before, and I just already had the picture matted with that kind of a teal color cardstock. So here I'm going through and trying to see if I can find a better background to use with this picture. And I'm just looking through different paper that I have, and I just kept trying to find something that would go better with the picture that I have here. Now, as I'm looking at this, and when I started, I love the combination of that silver with the original paper that I had selected. And so I think I am going to go back and do another layout with those colors with that piece of paper, because I still have that paper, and I might go ahead and just do another layout with that. But here I'm just really struggling to find something that's going to go with this picture. And I really wanted something that had more of that blue color. And so I did try out that pattern, but then I found this floral, and I really loved that floral, but it did not go with those stickers, and so I'm going to have to change that. It just, it was competing too much with that floral. The colors really didn't go, and there was just nothing about it that went. So it's not going to make it on this layout. So I'm going to be using that grid paper there that's in the background. It's a white background with blue lines, and this floral. And here I'm actually trying out some pens that my mom just purchased. We got our Creative Memories order, and I got the punch, and then she got these pens. And they're called the dot pens, and the more pressure you put on the pen, the bigger the dot gets. And it was kind of fun. I wanted to give them a try, and I think she got a set of them, and it was 4 or 5 different colors. And that was super fun to play with, so I might have to get some of those for myself. So I'm going to look for some different thickers to use on this layout, and I came across these. These are silver as well, and I thought it would be kind of cool to incorporate some more silver into my layout. And I found on this particular set of thickers, there was one that had the saying little one, and then I thought I would also add in the word my. And so my title is going to end up being My Little One. And there my mom is trying to show me those stickers. She thought that I should use those for the layout. But I kind of had it in my mind that I was going to use these silver ones. And so I'm just going to go with that. So we're just going to kind of play around with the layout here. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put the title and, you know, kind of the design of the layout. So I got some wax paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and transfer the title onto wax paper so I can kind of play around with it on the layout without sticking it down yet. So these stickers are from the Pebbles Night Night collection, the baby boy, and it's silver foam, and I think they're really pretty. I'm also using papers from Simple Stories. The floral is from Domestic Bliss, and that grid pattern is from a collection called 24/7. So I'm going to cut these down, and I'm going to save paper by just cutting what I need and then putting it onto that ugly paper and making a 12 by 12. And I like to do that just to kind of save on the prettier paper and so I don't waste my good scrapbooking paper. And I have a bunch of, I call it ugly paper from probably 15, 20 years ago. It's a really thin paper that I got in a stack, and I think it came from Michael's. And so I just use that whenever I want to piece together a layout. I did love this floral paper, but it was a little busy and it was a little bit of a challenge to work with that paper. And I really wanted to put that title there at the bottom underneath the picture, but it just blended right into that paper. And so I'm going to end up moving it to above the picture, and I thought that worked much better. So because I was scrapbooking with my friends, I was doing this virtual crop, and my mom was also at my house visiting. I just decided to do a very basic scrapbook layout here, and I'm doing something that Janet at RTS Scrapbooking calls the happy horizontal. And that's just basically taking two pieces of paper that are about 6 by 12 and piecing them together and using a border strip. And so that's what I did here. Now I did also rotate the paper, and instead of having the floral at the bottom, I decided to have it on the right side, and I moved my title to the left side of my layout. Okay, so now I'm trying to find some things to embellish this layout, and because I didn't really have a plan for this, I wasn't working with a page kit, I just decided to pull out some of my color bins and just go through them and see if I could find something for this layout. So I'm using the yellow bin, and I think I also looked through my blue bin. And these are trying to think of the name of them. They're a Deflecto brand. It's a 2-drawer unit, and I picked these up from Amazon. So if you're interested in that, I will put a link in the description below where you can find these Deflecto drawer units. So I have 6 of these drawer units behind my workspace here, and so that gives me 12 drawers. And it's perfect for just storing all of these die cuts by color, and you can fit a lot in there. I think the drawers are about 6 inches by 4 inches and a couple inches deep, and really like the size of them for storing dies. Okay, so I'm still trying to find stuff to go on this layout, and I did find a couple of tags, and also some other little frames and some flowers and just different things that I'm going to use on my layout. I also added that little journaling card there, and I decided that I would put that little tag, actually, I think I cut it off and added it to the top left-hand corner of my layout. I also found a little flower vase and a little die cut with the word hello, and I'm going to also put a little I think it was like a little frame down there at the bottom underneath my picture. So I think this is starting to come together, and I'm trying to figure out here, how I can put the title on there to make it look good. And I thought about putting part of the title on the tag, but it just looked a little weird, so I decided not to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add this tag right there, and I'm going to cut it off. And I just love the shape of that tag. It was really cool. And I'm going to take the top of the tag and stick it there behind the top of my picture. Now I spent a lot of time making flowers. I used a couple of punches, and I punched out flowers out of that silver metallic paper, and I ended up not using any of them, but we'll get to that in a minute. So here I'm also looking at some brads, and I think I pulled out a couple of different brads from this brad pack. I think it's from the Carta Bella Let's Travel collection. And I love the colors, and I thought the colors went really well. But I think in the end I didn't end up using any brads on my layout, and decided to go with something else. But for now, I was just looking at these brads thinking that I was going to put one brad in each one of my clusters. Okay, so here's where I got out some punches, and both of these punches are from Stampin' Up, and there's like a 5-petal punch there, and then a little smaller flower. And I spent quite a bit of time creating flowers, And I still have them to use on another layout, but I just thought that it just really made the layout look too busy and decided that I would use some other flowers instead. So I didn't end up using any of the flowers that I made with the silver foil paper. I did actually use some of the flowers that I made using some scrap paper that I had that was in blue, yellow, and pink. And I had just layered those together and just glued them with some liquid glue. And here I'm just going to go and I'm moving things around, trying to figure out what is going to look good on this layout. And I think that the paper, that floral paper was just really, really busy. And so I was kind of struggling with what embellishments I could put over there and that would stand out. Now, it's really interesting to me that when you look at this, when I'm watching it back as I'm recording this voiceover, that the embellishments almost blended right into that floral paper, but in person they do stand out a little bit more than they do when you see this in the video. Okay, so I'm going to move my title down a little bit, and I keep trying to use those metallic flowers, but they don't make it on the layout. They just, it's just something about it. It didn't suit the look and feel of this layout, even though I used that same paper to make the Starburst border. I just didn't like it as a flower, so I'm not going to use any of those. And I am going to use some of the other flowers that I created. And I also did go back through my stash and I pulled out some chipboard. So this chipboard is from the Simple Stories I Am collection. And I am going to use the little bird there and also the little pink typewriter. And I think I also found another piece in here. It was like a clip on a notebook. And I'm going to put that on top of that journaling card. And I thought that was so cute because it made it look like kind of like a, what do you call this, a clipboard. So I really like the addition of the chipboard onto this layout. I think it really did add a lot to the look and feel. So I did move these things around a little bit. I moved the typewriter and the birds and the flowers around. And I decided that I would go ahead and do my journaling here before I glued this down because I thought I was going to put that little bird there, and I thought it would be kind of hard to write in the journaling with that chipboard piece right there at the bottom of that cluster. But I'm going to end up moving the bird and putting it at the top of the layout above the photo. And I really love that cluster up there with the little bird. I thought it was really, really cute. And that's where I'm going to decide to change that. I think it was kind of a little bit too much there with the journaling to be able to put that bird there. So I am going to move the bird up to that top cluster. And here I'm just trying to figure out where to put this little typewriter. I ended up putting it right there on the corner on top of that little frame. And I'm going to add a few flowers, and I think this layout is turning out really cute. I think though that it does look a little bit better in person than it does on the video, just because that floral pattern paper is very busy. I did also add some twine to my tag there. I think it was just a white twine. And I'm still trying to put some of those flowers on my layout. I really did want to use those flowers with the silver foil, but every time I put them on the layout, they just did not look like they belong. And so I just kept taking them off and just played around a lot with these flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and add that little bird there at the top, and I just love putting little birds at the top of a picture. I think it's really cute, and I almost built like a little bit of a nest there with the flower and kind of made a place for that little bird to sit. And I'm going to go ahead and glue down this twine just so it stays in the place where I want it to be. And one of the other things that I decided to add to the cluster there was a paper clip. I had bought some paper clips, I think it was last year during Black Friday. Spellbinders was having a sale, and I was able to get these little paper clips. They're silver, and it was the perfect touch for that cluster there at the top. And I just think those are so cute, and they came from Fun Stamper's Journey. Now recently Spellbinders was having another sale. It was like a huge warehouse sale, and they still had some of those paper clips. They were like $1, and I want to say you get like 24 in a pack, and it comes with stars, hearts, a little like shoot, what was the other shapes? A flower and then something else I can't remember. And yeah, they're super cute, and I love adding paper clips to my layouts. So the last thing I'm going to do is add some enamel dots, and that's going to finish this layout. And I did add yellow, pink, and blue enamel dots and kind of scattered them around in each one of my clusters. So because this layout has a picture of my little dog LilyBelle, I decided to include a video clip at the end of this video with LilyBelle. So if you want to watch that, stick around to the end. So I'm going to be showing you some close-ups of this layout, so stick around for that. And if you did enjoy this scrapbook process video, please give it a like. If you would like to see more videos, please subscribe. I would love to have you join my channel. And that's all I have. So y'all take care and have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. Are you barking at the neighbors again? LilyBelle, are you going to get in trouble? You're getting into trouble. Don't you bark anymore. You're going to get punished. If you see somebody out there, who do you see, huh? You're being very good because you haven't barked once since I turned the video camera on. But as soon as I stop paying attention to her and start trying to do something, she's going to bark. See, Bella barks a lot and she talks to me. But LilyBelle only likes to bark at people outside. She doesn't ever really talk to me. She does talk with her ears though. She likes certain words like Shiloh. You like Shiloh? Shiloh's my sister's dog. And what else you like? You like haircut? You like to go get your haircut? Yeah. And she likes, let's go. You're going to go somewhere? She likes the word go. We're going to go somewhere? See, I'm saying all these words and I'm not, am I messing with you? Yeah. You're so funny. LilyBelle, you going to get a haircut? Oops, you're going to slide. You want to get a haircut? You want to take a bath today? You're kind of smelly. Maybe Mama should give y'all a bath today. What you think? You like taking a bath. You like to get all pretty and clean. Smell good? Yeah. I'll give you a bath. What do you think? You think I should give you a bath today? You're not going to talk to me? Can you say something? No? That's Bella's. Bella's the one that talks, huh? What other words do you like? You like the word park? Want to go to the dog park? She likes to go for walks. And she likes the T word, but I won't say that one. Hi, LilyBelle. What you doing? Are you hiding? What you see out the window, huh? You see something good?